Take a look at this data counter. Inside your chest, one muscle works at a scale that dwarfs every other part of your anatomy, and it never takes a day off. Not when you're sleeping, not when you're relaxing, or even when you're sick. This organ beats more than 100,000 times every single day. That's over 35 million beats every year. And it does this without ever needing a recovery day. Standard biological rules suggest this shouldn't be possible. Most muscles require a specific cycle. They contract, consume energy, and then require a prolonged rest period to clear waste and reset. If you hold a heavy object long enough, your arm muscles eventually hit a point of mechanical failure. We can see this breakdown with Jake. He starts a new weightlifting routine, pushing his skeletal muscles to their limit. After a heavy session, his arms are sore and his legs ache. His muscles have physically micro-teared and exhausted their immediate fuel. They are demanding time to recover. Yet, during that exact same workout, Jake's heart is performing a much more intense task. It is pumping blood at its maximum capacity to keep his limbs moving, but it doesn't get sore and it doesn't shut down. It has already beaten thousands of times today, and it will keep that pace until the moment he dies. This endurance exists because the heart isn't built like a standard muscle. From the cellular level up, it follows a different biological blueprint, a specialized piece of engineering featuring 3 specific subsystems designed for permanent operation. The first advantage is the fuel system. Most muscles in your body are versatile. They can run on oxygen, but they can also switch to a backup anaerobic power when you're pushing hard. That backup power is a temporary fix. It creates the burning sensation in your legs and leads to rapid exhaustion. This comparison shows the difference. On the left, skeletal muscles rely on a depleting, finite battery. On the right, the heart uses a continuous flow pipeline. It almost never uses backup power. Instead, it relies on a second-by-second supply of oxygen-rich fuel drawn directly from the body's main grid. It operates like a massive, highly efficient power plant. Because it receives a constant supply of premium fuel every second, its energy output remains stable, never dipping into the red zone where failure begins. This absolute reliance on high-grade, continuous fuel prevents the toxic waste buildup that eventually paralyzes standard muscles during a workout. The second advantage is how the heart is controlled. Skeletal muscles are essentially dumb terminals. They won't move unless they receive an explicit electrical signal from your brain. If the brain doesn't send the command to lift your arm, the muscle stays dark. The heart, however, carries its own internal power source. These specialized nodes generate their own electrical rhythm. The heart doesn't wait for instructions from the head. It is constantly sending signals to itself, independent of the central nervous system. This provides a vital fail-safe. Even if communication with the brain is interrupted, the internal nodes continue to fire. The heart can keep beating in a steady, uninterrupted rhythm entirely on its own. By decentralizing the command structure, biology ensures that the body's central engine doesn't shut down just because of a single point of communication failure. But even with perfect fuel and automated control, there is still a mechanical reality to face. Constant physical contraction over decades should eventually cause the tissue to wear out and fail. If we look at an EKG waveform, we see how the heart avoids this. Notice the space between these electrical spikes. After every pulse, the heart enters a relaxation phase called diastole. It's a precise window of rest enforced between every single beat. It's a constant, rhythmic balance. Rather than running a continuous, exhausting marathon, the heart is essentially sprinting for a fraction of a second, resting briefly, and repeating that cycle. These recovery periods are measured in milliseconds, but as we zoom out over a lifetime, they stack up. Mathematically, these tiny pauses add up to massive blocks of accumulated rest. Endurance isn't achieved through continuous effort, but through a recovery period that is hidden in plain sight between every single heartbeat. This mechanical reality connects directly to our daily choices. Chronic stress, poor sleep, and smoking act as physical friction. They add extra weight to a machine that is already running 24 hours a day. This shifts the objective of heart health. Improving the system isn't about pushing its capacity or making it work harder. It's about reducing the daily unnecessary strain on the engine. The RPM paradox shows this. A weak engine requires high RPMs for baseline power. Regular exercise trains the heart with a stronger engine, pumping more blood per contraction. More effective beats mean fewer total cycles, drastically lowering the heart's daily energy expenditure. When Jake sticks to his routine, he feels more energetic. His cardiovascular system is more efficient. He isn't winded on the stairs. His heart meets his body's demands with less total effort. Take a moment to notice your own heartbeat. It does its job without being asked, having completed thousands of cycles since you woke up. Every lifestyle choice you make ultimately determines whether you are adding friction to this engine or helping the one muscle that never gets a day off do its job with ease.